Is Boston?
Do we have a magic number yet, or?
Whoa,
Oh,
you, okay. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to bring this meeting of the Pinellas County Board of Commissioners to order, please, and without further ado, ask for Pastor Ventura Pittman, please, to come forward. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here
Thank
today.
you so much for the invitation.
And then, which will be oh, you're on the other side. Pastor. And then it will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Peters. Go ahead.
Our Father and our God, we give praise and honor and glory to your name. We thank you for the beauty of this day.
Thank you.
We lift up every commissioner, those that are elected officials in this place, those that are assigned. We ask, God, that you've already gone before them as they've looked at the agenda for today, that every decision that is made will be a godly decision. Everyone that is in the forefront will be willing to accept that which is done in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United
States
States
of America,
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all. Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes.
Reverend Couture Pittman is one of the pastors at my church, Greater Mount Zion AME. This is her first time up here being able to do this.
Welcome.
And she is also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Used to be my Sunday school teacher. Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. All right, and now we have our presentations and awards, and the first one is Water Conservation Month. So if the Utilities Department would come on up, please, and I will join you down there. Give me one moment. Grab all my, good morning.
First time meeting you.
Hey there.
Come on in, come on around, guys.
Oh, come on.
She's gonna come down, yeah. I'm off, how are you?
Good morning. Oh, good morning. Nice to meet you. Good morning.
I think the network was just taking its time. Hi, good morning. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Morning.
Chris.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Kathleen,
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you. You want to scoot over some?
How are you today? Good. So. Okay, well. I don't have the one for the utilities. No.
That's,
Just excuse us for one moment. No. Well, look at this. Hold on one moment. Okay, well, I apologize for that. This happens when I have too many papers in front of me. So I'm going to give you this. You can be looking at that. And I would, we have here Franklin Roberson. Yeah. Hi. He's our Water Conservation Coordinator, Frank Quarterman. Very nice to see you here this morning. He's our wastewater plant operator, Nathan Hickerson. Nathan, good morning. And he's our chemist, and Robert Pawlikowski, chemist. Is he here? Wow. all from our utilities department. They will be accepting the Water Conservation Month proclamation. Clean, safe, and sustainable water resources are vital to Pinellas County's economy, environment, and its people. And the state of Florida, Southwest Florida Management District, Tampa Bay Water, and Pinellas County are working together to increase awareness about the importance of water conservation. And Pinellas County and the state of Florida have designated the month of April, typically a dry month when water demands are most acute, as Water Conservation Month, to educate citizens about saving precious water resources. And we are constantly reminded that Florida's water resources, no matter how diverse, must have improved management strategies, and every business, industry, homeowner, and visitor can make a difference when it comes to conserving our water, our vital water resources. And Pinellas County citizens have managed to reduce their personal daily consumption of potable water from 153 gallons in 1990 to 74 gallons in 2022. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners that April 2023 be recognized as Water Conservation Month in Pinellas County, and all residents and businesses are urged to help protect our precious water resources by practicing conservation. So, where's our photographer this morning? There you are. Who's going to be the spokesperson?
Is he gonna speak first?
Well,
Are they speaking? You do a picture first?
Oh, picture first. Okay,
Okay,
you're up.
hold on.
You're up. Hang tight. It's a Tuesday morning, we gotta get going.
Do me a favor and scooch this way, just so.
Scooch, scooch. We're friendly.
Well, at least we got the memo. We have on green. We have on green, they have on blue.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Frank Roberson. I'm fairly new with Pinellas County. I'm the Water Conservation Supervisor and Field Services. And I just want to say I appreciate this award. We've been doing a lot of good work over there. And I just want to say thank you. I have my bosses over there, Megan and Hillary. And I just want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity for this award.
you're welcome. And most of all, thank you for providing our safe, clean water for everyone every single day. What would we do without it? None of us would be here, right?
Right.
Thank you. It sure is. Thank you very much. All right.
One more, and they can go back to that one position. So that'll fall.
You want us back then too?
Yeah, just like before, that's fine.
So weird.
How you doing, Kathleen?
Okay, and now we would like to ask Brooke Cajun, Compliance Manager, and Joe Riddle, Grants Program Manager, both with Housing and Community Development, to join me at the podium. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Good morning. They will be accepting the National Community Development Week proclamation. The week of April 10th through the 14th, 2023, has been designated as National Community Development Week by the National Community Development Association to recognize the accomplishments of the Community Development Block Grant Program and the Home Investment Partnership Program. The CDBG and home programs provide annual funding and flexibility to local communities like Pinellas County to provide decent, safe, and affordable housing, a suitable living environment, and economic opportunity to low and moderate income people. Pinellas County and communities throughout the nation have utilized CDBG and home program funding to improve neighborhoods and provide opportunities for low to moderate income residents. Pinellas County recognizes that the CDBG and home programs are a partnership between the federal government and local governments that make significant impacts through new home construction, park and recreational activities, services for homeless persons, pedestrian improvements, and public facilities. During National Community Development Week 2023, the Board of County Commissioners gives special thanks and recognition to all the nonprofit agencies, organizations, and cities whose hard work and devotion to the neighborhoods and their low and moderate income residents help ensure the quality and effectiveness of the CDBG and home programs. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners, the week of April 10th through April 14th, 2023, be recognized as National Community Development Week.
Photo? Photo?
Thank you, Commissioner Long, for the recognition of Community Development Week here in Pinellas County this year. This is the 49th year of the Community Development Week, which was created to recognize the impact of community development block grant programs in our communities. Community development is that process of community members working with agencies to identify and take action of those issues which are most important to them. This community development empowers our communities and builds stronger communities. Wonderful. With our CDBG block grant last year, we served over 93,000 people in Pinellas County with our public services and public facility activities, to include operations of a youth homeless facility, a nonprofit, renovations to a nonprofit facility that serves individuals with disabilities, and the services for seniors who are working to stay in their homes. We also served another 17,000 within our neighborhoods of Ridgecrest, Lillman, Tarpon Springs, High Point, and Dansville with our neighborhood improvement programs, our clearance and demo of slum and blight, and our targeted court enforcement. But I think it's important to thank our employees of our Housing and Community Development Department who diligently work to administer these programs. They love and care for the people that they work with in the community and the communities they work with. But lastly, those nonprofit organizations who are supporting us out there with their hard work and diligence, taking those actions to build these communities better and stronger, they are the folks that really need the biggest thank you today. So thank you again for the recognition.
Excellent. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you. Oh my, look at this. Wow. I feel like we need to pass this around the room and share it with everyone. It's just so lovely. This is the Department of Solid Waste Accreditation Award. And I'd like to ask Paul Sacco. I didn't see him. Oh, he's sitting way up in the back. Come on over here, Paul. Program Supervisor, to join me at the podium. And Ray Clark, the Program Supervisor.
Rick.
What? Says Rick Clark. Hi. Thank you for being here this morning. Would you look at this? It's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, pretty nice. Very nice. All right, these two gentlemen are going to be accepting the Department of Solid Waste Accreditation Award. On February 8th, 2023, the Department of Solid Waste achieved full accreditation from the American Public Works Association for its commitment to continuous improvement of solid waste operations and services to the community. APWA accreditation is earned by showing compliance with best practices for solid waste agencies. The purpose of accreditation is to promote excellence in the operation and management of a solid waste agency, its program, and its employees. Accreditation is designed to assist the agency in the continuous improvement of operations and management and in providing a valid and objective evaluation of agency programs as a service to the public and the profession. The accreditation process is rigorous, and it includes 5 major steps: self-assessment, application, improvement, evaluation, and accreditation. Department of Solid Waste employees worked for more than 2 years to gather information needed and satisfy 230 criteria. That's impressive, really. To earn this accreditation, the department's policies and procedures were reviewed and verified by APWA, proving the Department of Solid Waste is committed to staying at the forefront of new advances. For example, every 4 years, the department is required to review its 30-year solid waste master plan, which outlines 28 strategies to attain its vision of zero waste to landfill by 2050. The Department of Solid Waste joins the Public Works Department in the APWA accreditation. We have a video to present from Keith Pugh, President of the American Public Works Association, congratulating the Solid Waste Department. And congratulations to Paul and everyone else who works out there in the Solid Waste Department. Commissioners, if you haven't been over there and toured that facility, it's really worth your time. It's amazing what's done out there. Now, hold on just a minute. I want to show everyone how gorgeous this is. That is if I can lift it. It looks really heavy. Isn't that beautiful?
Hello, I'm Keith Pugh, President of the American Public Works Association. I'm excited to be here and thank you for allowing me a moment to recognize one of your departments. The Pinellas County Department of Solid Waste provides safe and environmentally sound integrated solid waste services to all residents, visitors, and businesses of Pinellas County. These services emphasize public awareness and communication that enable citizens to make educated choices concerning the responsible management of their solid waste. In support of that mission, the Department of Solid Waste operates and administers the landfill, the waste-to-energy facility, household hazardous waste collections, waste reduction and recycling programs, and other solid waste management functions. The purpose of APWA's accreditation program is to provide a means to formally verify and recognize public works agencies for compliance with the recommended practices as set forth in the Public Works Management Practices Manual. This is a voluntary and self-motivated program. Accredited agencies have made the commitment to continuous improvement in the delivery of public works operations and services in the community it serves. And as a bonus, those accredited agencies have achieved a high level of professionalism and credibility. The Pinellas County Department of Solid Waste has been officially accredited by the APWA Accreditation Council. During an insight visit, a team of evaluators consisting of experienced public works professionals reviewed 231 practices to confirm their compliance with internationally recognized management practices applicable to the agency's operations and responsibilities. I would like to thank the chair, Janet Long, and the Pinellas County Board of Commissioners for investing in such a worthwhile program. Your support demonstrates your continuing desire to ensure your community is being operated and managed in an efficient manner consistent with industry best management practices. I'd also like to thank Solid Waste Director Paul Sacco and Accreditation Manager Rick Clark for their willingness to lead the department to this level of recognition. The county's commitment to continuous improvement follows along with my late father's life philosophy: leave things better than you found them. With that, I'm proud to present the Pinellas County, Florida Solid Waste Department with accreditation. Congratulations and great work.
So Paul, you have to be incredibly proud of all of your people and how far you have come since you've been out there. Thank you so much for your leadership and the hard work that you've all put into earning this today. You're welcome. Do you want to say anything?
So appreciate it. Good morning. Want to thank the board and certainly county administrator for allowing us to pursue the quest of becoming accredited. Also want to thank Kelly Levy and the Public Works team. They were able to share the benefit of their experience of going through the process. They actually reviewed our draft submission before it was provided to APWA. Certainly the members of the solid waste team, it was a very heavy lift and required the strength of many. Rick Clark here, who was our champion and kind of facilitated us through this process, keeping us on track. You know, it was been a 2 or 3 year journey. We never lost our resolve. We were delayed by the pandemic, but we always maintained our focus. We learned a lot along the way, mostly in the area of formality. We found that we were doing a lot of great things out there, but we just weren't formal in what we were doing. So we were able to formalize our processes, our policies and procedures, and pull things together that were recognized by APWA. And then we'll take that and actually, begin to operate, and then the cultural shift in that formality as we move forward and serve the public as we provide the best services possible. So again, thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you. Thank you. Want to take our picture? Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. And now we have Employee Appreciation Awards and videos. 2 recognitions today, which is always one of my favorite things. What? Oh, okay. Thank you. Mr. Clark, how about come on back up here? So, we're getting ready to recognize you for how outstanding you are. Isn't that fabulous?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. So, today we have our employees to recognize for their commitment to delivering first-class services to our residents by going above and beyond their roles. We're starting today with Rick Clark, a program supervisor in our solid waste department. Rick's day-to-day job is to manage the industrial water treatment facility. Recently, Rick also took on the lead role in solid waste application and approval for accreditation from the American Public Works Association. Accredited agencies are recognized as meeting the highest standards in public works operations. So on behalf of Pinellas County, I want to thank you very much for your hard work. And before we show the video, Barry, would you like to say a few words on his behalf?
Sure. Obviously, solid waste it's a great tour for anybody that goes out there and sees, but there's just so much that goes into it. You know, all of Pinellas County feeds into this operation, so it's not just a collection of that, but they have, you know, not only the waste energy facility, so a lot of different types of recycling facilities, but he operates the industrial, you know, pretreatment program, which is all the leachate that comes off of that facility. So it's a integrated solid waste system out there, and it's very complicated, and it touches every life, every business in the county. And so for all of that, and especially with the accreditation, you did that in addition to your regular job, but it formalizes our processes to where that has a legacy. Everybody that follows will be able to pick up and see exactly what are best practices and how to run your facility. So it'll pay dividends for many, many years to come. So all of your work is appreciated, and we thank you very much.
Do you want to say something, Rick? No. No? Well,
No, thank you. That's really, thank
so
you for this recognition.
tell us how long you've been with Pinellas County.
16 years? I've been here 16 years, yeah.
Wonderful.
All of solid waste, yep.
Well, congratulations, and again, thank you for helping to get this great achievement through the pipeline. Sounds like it was an awesome, awesome thing to work on. Thank you. On behalf of all of Pinellas County residents and the Board of
I'm Rick Clark. I'm a program supervisor at Pinellas County Solid Waste, and I supervise our industrial water treatment facility. I have a crew of operators who are running our water treatment facility, and we're treating leachate, which is water from the landfill, and using it at the waste energy plant next door. On a typical day, I check with the guys, ask how the plant's running, just making sure everything's running the way it should.
Rick is very much a why guy. That why we do things is a fresh new look at a lot of the things that we do, and then it enables us to make sure that we are not just doing things because it's always what we've done, making those correct steps to make sure that we have good improvement. I'd like to show you something.
APWA is the American Public Works Association, and the accreditation is, basically something you apply for, and you have to prove that your department meets a set of best practices.
Rick's role was interpreting what the APWA standards need, and then getting each group to meet each one of those sections by documenting or providing the documentation for those rules, and then making those procedures or that documentation meet APWA standards. Most individuals, when they go through an APWA certification, has specific people that they just assign. You are our APWA person, you're the one who's going to pull all this data together. And that's just their job. That's what they do. That's how difficult the task is. Rick was able to do that task for solid waste while still doing his normal daily job duties. It takes a special person.
Working for the county to me means, I'm, providing something important to, all the people who live here. So I feel like what we do matters. It's not just a job and not just, going to get your paycheck, but what we're doing is helping people. I'm Rick Clark, and I am Pinellas County.
Okay. And now we are on citizens to be heard, and first is, let's take our group of students. Are they here? Yeah? Okay, great. How about you all come up, and do you have a student who's going to speak for all of you, or are you all speaking? Come on up. Okay.
Which way are we facing? Or should we face this way?
Well, here, because you're on camera. A face like you are. And how about, we'll start with you. How about you identify yourself, please?
Hello, my name is Stephen DeVerge. We are all from USF. I am a second-year student. Oh, sorry. Do you want me to repeat myself? Hello, my name is Stephen DeVerge. I am from USF, and we will be presenting a presentation today about ensuring felon voting rights.
My name is Colin Molnar from the same class of Judith Ann McLaughlin's Florida Politics, second year student, poli-sci, and yeah, we're all presenting the same thing.
Yeah, my name is Miles Truslow. I'm in the same class, and I'm a senior at USF St. Pete.
My name is Noah Akhtash. I'm obviously in the same class, and I'm a senior at USF St. Pete.
Hello, good morning. My name is Giovanni, and I'm a senior, and I do economics, and we're presenting about the same thing.
Well, good morning, and thank you for being here. And it's nice to see young people taking an interest in their county government. So I invite you to come to the podium. You'll have 3 minutes. I'm sorry? Okay, yeah, please, yeah. You'll have 3 minutes, so please proceed.
So prior to 2018, Florida was one of the only states to permanently disenfranchise felons, barring them from voting. That meant that roughly 10% of adults in the state of Florida were ineligible to vote. In 2015, a campaign began led by Desmond Meade, head of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition, partnered with the American Civil Liberties Union and Christian Coalition of America to help give felons the right to vote back. In 2018, Amendment 4 passed with 64% of the vote, restoring the right to vote to an estimated 1.4 million. Along with Amendment 4, a bill was passed as well, and the verbiage of the bill stated, people with felony records pay all fines and fees associated with their sentence prior to the restoration of their voting rights. This meant that in 2020, roughly 1 million felons were released, and of that 1 million, over 700,000 owed outstanding fees that needed to get paid back in order to restore their right to vote. In 2019, of the roughly 1.4 million that were estimated to have been granted the right to vote, only 30,000 had registered, despite efforts by local governments and various nonprofits to help alleviate the burden from some of these felons.
Okay. The clock is running. Next.
Okay. So in Florida, especially Pinellas, Ken Burke specifically, there have been a lot of things in the right direction as far as trying to give
Speak into the mic, please, so we can hear you.
So specifically, in Pinellas County, there have been a lot of steps in the right direction as far as giving more education to the employees and trying to have more training. Before the 2020 election, they were trying to have an effort to get more people registered that were prior felons. But again, the main problem is just information. There were a series of arrests of people who thought they had the right to vote after their felony convictions that were nonviolent or non-sexual in nature. And unfortunately, they were arrested for voter fraud. There's a lot of felons. We feel there's a problem with information. What we were proposing is we want to get an information packet out there to these newly released people, just in the jails, in the prisons, give them a piece of paper that informs them of their actual rights, the people they can contact to make sure that they do, in fact, have the right to vote. There are no holds in the way. And just someone to talk to give them certainty. Because a lot of people are afraid. They're getting out, they've spent a good chunk of their life in prison, or any time in jail and they don't want to throw everything they've built away to try to register to vote, go back to prison, get something else. So we're really just trying to give people certainty, and we're proposing an informational packet. We feel that would be the best way to get information out.
Thank you. Next.
Under current efforts, we've seen.
All right, you're going to have to beef it up a little bit, so let's give them another 2 minutes to get your message out, and then. All right, thank you.
Under current efforts, we've seen the number of civically engaged felons rise slightly in the elections since the passing of Amendment 4, and multiple studies, namely the Stanford Social Innovation Review, have shown that any form of voter giving them information on here's how you can vote, here's where you can vote, here are the steps that you can take to actually vote, any effort in doing that, any get out the vote efforts lead to a higher rate of voter turnout. So we believe that just giving this information packet to newly released felons, giving them the information, you are able to vote. Here's the background on Amendment 4. Just explaining to them that they do have the right to vote will increase voter turnout, because a lot of non-felons aren't even aware that felons are able to vote since the passing of Amendment 4. I couldn't imagine that a lot of felons know that they're able to vote since the passing of Amendment 4. The calculus of voting, which is essentially opportunity cost in other disciplines, means that you're calculating the cost of voting in time and the effort that you have to put in to actually cast your vote. We obviously want that to be as low as possible while still maintaining election integrity. And we believe that this will lower the calculus of voting.
Thank you. Next.
Okay, so the costs of this idea would mainly be the hourly wage and the cost of producing the actual flyers. One thing I mainly want to put out is that it doesn't sound good when you say ensuring felon rights. I know it doesn't sound as a very nice thing, especially for people that have never committed felonies. The way I see it, and that I try to bring it out to you people, is it's an investment in democracy. So we live in a democracy, and people who are able to vote should be able to vote because they should be able to choose their leader. So giving out the information for people that can vote can actually make a difference. And it doesn't matter if it's like towards Democratic or Republican, it just matters that it is, they're doing their civic duty as people that live in a free country.
Thank you. We did a really good job. Is this the first time that you've ever presented before an elected body?
Yes, ma'am.
Very nice. Someday maybe you'll go present this idea to the Florida legislature. All right?
Don't laugh, Judith may have you up there.
Thank you for getting involved in the process.
Did you guys have any questions for us?
No, this is public comment portion of our meeting, and we listen to public comment, but we don't usually engage with it or take questions or that sort of thing. You tell your professor you need to explore another opportunity if you want a dialogue. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Don Cocker.
They got credit. They got good credit today.
I'm sorry?
I said they got credit for coming.
I said that.
Oh, no.
I don't know where you put them.
On the seal.
Put it on the seal.
In the middle of the table.
Oh, right there?
There you go.
All right. Part of the reason I'm here is we.
Name and address.
Oh, yeah. Don Cocker, and I live at 9170 Robin Road, which is unincorporated Pinellas County. This is a picture of water running down a sewer, potable water. We had a water main break a couple of weeks ago, for the second time in 5 years, right within 50 feet of each other. And it tore up the sidewalk a little and tore my fence up a bit. And the gripe I have is that the guys came to fix it and tore my fence down and hauled it away. I got pictures here. That's the water running down, which was thousands of gallons because it took them a couple of days by the time twice it ran for hours and hours and running both ways down the sidewalk. Now there's the run down the sidewalk. There's my fence. And then here's another picture of the fence after they came and worked on some, and it's tilting, if you see there. This is what it looks like now. They tore my fence down and hauled it away. And here's a picture of what they could have done. They could have just unscrewed it and set it aside. There's two sections of wooden fence and a big piece of the chain link with aluminum in it, which you could never match. But these guys took it and hauled it away. I find that to be ridiculous. Another thing, the first guys that came out said, well, we have to go back to the office to find out how to turn this off. They should have had something in a laptop or a tablet that would show where to turn that off, and it could have saved thousands of gallons of water. And then they patched it partly. And a couple days, over the weekend, nobody did nothing. And then come Monday or Tuesday, they were over there again, tore a pipe out about like from here to the door and replaced that. And I have to tell you, I can remember iron pipes that were 75 years old getting replaced, but these can't be more than 20 or 30 years old. These plastic pipes are not heavy duty enough, I don't think. The guys that were putting in the fiber optic for the television and internet and stuff was running over the water meter boxes and the water pipe there. These guys actually that were out there to fix this actually told me that they had a lot of trouble with that. The one thing I want to mention before I go is that I also, after these guys did that, a week after the guys that were installing the fiber optic, I had a water leak in my rental house next door that the county said, it's your, on your property, so it's your fault. It cost us $600 for water bill, not to mention that the...
Sir, your time is up.
All right.
Thank you.
It was a line they put in, the county put in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David Ballaghettis Jr.
Good morning, David Ballard Geddes Jr. I live at 802 Georgia Avenue in Palm Harbor. Lately, the county has been replacing many of the neighborhood sidewalks. About 15 years ago, the county installed a sidewalk alongside of my house, and only after installing that sidewalk, about 2 years after that, they tore the sidewalk out to put in a reclaimed water line and neglected the fact that my potable water line was 65 years old and in need of being replaced. Soon, all of the newly installed sidewalks will again have to be torn out in order to rebuild our outdated potable water pipes, and the sidewalks will also have to be reinstalled. In effect, the county charging us again for deliberately piecemealing the installation of our infrastructure. Another example of reverse engineering is the recent installation of the water pipe on Dunedin Causeway, knowing good and well that the bridge on Dunedin Causeway is soon to be rebuilt. Thereby, the water pipe that took 4 years to install will also have to be reinstalled in proportion with the reconfiguring of the new bridge, and again charging us twice for such infrastructure racketeering scheme. US 19 also needs overpasses clear through Weeki Wachee 25 years ago. Today, US 19 is a third world traffic jam, and instead of building overpasses on US 19, the county has decided to spend $2.6 million on a roundabout that further congests our roadways on alternate 19 in its misappropriation of taxpayer money. The busing system is another front-loading operation. The government is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on each bus, and yet the poor people who ride the bus predominantly stand out in the heat and in the rain, unsheltered. Rarely is the bus stop equipped with proper recycling bins, and trash is littering our roadways. The bus causes traffic jams at every pickup point in the mismanagement of such a system. Putting your cart before the horse, wasting money while you can, doing as you please, criminal racketeering, reverse engineering, the decision-making meanderings of this government is liable in its criminal abuse of power. Thank you.
Next is Tony Williams. Morning.
Good morning. Morning, Chair. Everyone here again. You know, when I come up to here, it's going to be about the veterans and their families, so that's what I'm here for today. Well, for those of you who don't know, April is considered Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And for the military, it's military sexual assault. That's what I'm here for. Women veterans have twice the rate of suicide than non-women veterans, and the main reason why is military sexual assault. In fact, even as we speak, the military is still having a hard time grappling with it. The DOD has already saw the sexual assault increase 19%. We saw academies increasing 16%. And then so us, where we're at in in Pinellas, we have some of the people coming from MacDill. We also have the Coast Guard base, so we got that part. And then we have the veterans. Pinellas has over 75,000 veterans, and women veterans, Florida has the second largest women veteran population in the country. So you can imagine what it does when it comes to military sexual assault. And so what I'm just here for is just for the county, just to know about and be aware of military sexual assault. Even, and I just say women veterans, but military sexual assault also involves male veterans. They just don't report it as much. So I'm just bringing to you guys' attention. One thing I was disappointed, we are going to have Veterans Council veterans. We're doing our job, so we're going to have our second annual military sexual trauma conference here in St. Pete. So we're doing our part, and this is my other part is making sure we know about Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. Next, we have Pastor Mac Johnson. Morning. Come on.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I just come today to express Easter a little bit here again. I know all you guys enjoyed Easter a couple days ago, and I know my family kind of missed it. We were kind of late really getting into Easter, but I wanted to kind of remind us how important that really is, because it's a holiday that we celebrate, but really it's a reality that God has set up for us to have life with God. So really, in a nutshell, what Easter is, it's a time that many of us celebrate the reality that Jesus Christ died and rose again. And that we might have life in the power of God. Now, in the book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 6, it says something like, "He has risen, he is not here." Now, we're talking about this person that the Bible had talked about was going to come and die for the sins of the whole world. And what that means is the door is open today for every man, every woman to come in to God, because the reality of Easter has come, and that's real. And you know, today with Easter come, it's like we know the Bible teaches us that Jesus Christ rose on the third day, and the result of that was the Holy Spirit is here now to actually come into our lives. And as we receive Easter, of course, God comes in, and now we're able to walk in newness of life. Now, all this great work that we appreciate you guys do here in the county, I was a part of it myself for about 15 years. And but That's great stuff. It's wonderful. But the thing is, if we don't have Easter being a part of who we are, we miss what life is all about. Easter, we were born sinners, separated from God. Easter come, Christ come, and he fulfilled everything God told him to do for us, and God received him because he gave his life for us. But Easter would not be any good if he did not rise again. It's just like all the work that we do for the county and for the world and for our families is null and void without having Easter being a part of who we are. So how do you make that reality? You receive Christ and the Holy Spirit come into your life. And evidence of that happening and being reality is your life changed. So you know you're a woman of God or a man of God because you have a changed life, and it's a result of Easter. Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have Angela Sweet Taylor. Angela?
She's coming over here.
Good morning.
Good morning. I need to put the mic so I can hear you. Good morning. I'm honored to stand before the Pinellas County Commissioners. It's my privilege.
Ma'am.
Let me get here.
I can hear you.
So they can hear you.
We want to be able to hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. Just
Yes,
leave it
I'm
right
sorry.
there. Thank you.
So my name is Angela Taylor Sweet. Urban Technology Institute. It's my honor to stand before you, County Commissioners. I'm here to talk about the Commission on Revising the Florida State Constitution. And since I'm blind, so I can't read my report, if you don't mind, I'd like to have my phone read it to you, okay?
Governor of the State of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Actions available. Governor of the State of Florida, Ron DeSantis. When Jim Crow laws or black codes, exclusion, left up to the interpreter, are intricately woven into the very fabric of statutes, ordinances, and laws of the Florida Constitution, echoing the diabolical divestitures of the Reconstruction era, mitigated in the halls of justice, instituting the destructive forces of anarchy as a national creed. States' rights legislation plagiarizing the notorious Confederacy regime, disdain for black skin, tyrannical, dictatorial, government control undermining our republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This blatant breach of public trust deemed unconstitutional since its inception and punishable by the fullest extent of the law demands restitution with recompense of reward. Reparations for these atrocities that has for decades strategically dismantled the family, routinely characterized black skin as an offense, the poor as incompetent, the disenfranchised as chattel, and the aggressor as inferior. Academic pipeline to prison to maintain the lucrative, high-tech penal system that condones stock options, medical, and insurance malpractice, perpetuating food apartheid, instituting homophilia, affinity for perversion as a democratic oath, instituting defiance, little regard for human life, dishonor for authority, and gross misappropriation of federal and state funding. Establishing the Anthony Bowen YMCA Community of Practice platform to launch the Disruptive Innovation Chamber of E-commerce, affiliated faith-based organizations of America, Community Marketplace Network and Commodity Exchange, Qualified Opportunity Zone CDFI Secured Trust Fund. It would be my distinct honor and privilege to present a final proposal to eradicate the more than a century-old state of Florida Constitution that has drained the American economy, divided our nation, and annihilated the patriotism that formed our nations, a democracy with Almighty God as King. Respectfully submitted, Angela Taylor Sweet, Policy Analyst, and Last Day Profit to the Nation. These words, Dick Toolbar, Archive, button.
I just want to say I'm proud of the USF students. I like to work with them actually, and I will get this email to you in the email. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, now we are finished with public comment, and we will move on to our item number 6, which is an amendment to the ordinance of the Emergency Medical Services Control Board. Jerry?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this item amends the ordinance of the MCB to change the Pinellas County Medical Association seat to add a pediatric physician member that would represent a hospital with pediatric services within Pinellas County. The public hearing was properly advertised. We received an affidavit of publication. No correspondence has been received, and the matter is properly before the authority to be heard.
All right.
Move approval on that, ma'am. Madam Chair.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Can you open the machine, please, and allow us to vote?
I'm a yes. Mine didn't pop up.
I'm a yes.
As am I.
All right. So that looks like we have a majority, and it passes. Number 7.
Agenda item number 7 is an amendment to the bylaws of the Emergency Medical Services Medical Control Board. This item amends the bylaws of the MCB to add a pediatric physician member that would represent a hospital with pediatric services within Pinellas County. No correspondence has been received, and the matter is properly before the board to be heard.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Sorry, for the record, who was first and second?
First. Commissioner Flowers.
And then Commissioner Scott? Or
Commissioner Scott.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Can you please open the voting card? Is it working? Because it's not coming up on my machine. I'm a yes.
I'm a yes. Tell me I gotta leave the meeting. Did you join? It was on its way up.
You want to join?
Did you join? Did you join?
Yeah. So that passes unanimously. Now, number 7?
8.
8.
Agenda item number 8 is for the appointments to the Emergency Medical Services Medical Control Board. Appointment of Dr. Megan Martin as a pediatric physician to represent a hospital with pediatric services with Pinellas County. Reappointment of Miss Amelia Russell as hospital administrator primary representative for HCA Largo Medical Center. And appointment of Miss Lacey Rains as a hospital administrator alternate representative for HCA Largo Medical Center. No correspondence has been received, and the matter is properly before the board to be heard.
Okay.
Move approval.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Could you please open the machine and allow? I'm a yes. Oh, there we go. She just put it in. Oh. All right. And now we are on consent. Is there anyone that wants to pull an item from consent?
Move approval of the consent.
Second. Been moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, please. I'm sorry?
No, it's a voice vote.
We can do a voice vote for the consent agenda, if that's okay.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Right, number 10. Oh, wait a second. All right, so we're done with that.
18.
Number 19.
Item 19.
Let's go to item 19, please.
All right, good morning, Commissioners. Item number 19 is a grant agreement with Florida Department of Environmental Protection, and this is for the Shoreline Protection Project at Long Key, Upland Beach.
Move approval. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are we ready to open the board? And it's been approved unanimously. Thank you.
Item number 20 is a grant agreement with Florida Department of Environmental Protection, and this is for, this is a reimbursement for the Treasure Island project.
Move approval. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please open the board. And that is moved. The majority rules on that one as well. That's passed. 21.
This resolution is dedicating a county-owned property as public right-of-way. It's converting it from a fee-owned to a right-of-way.
Move approval.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Please open the board. Let us vote. And that is passed unanimously. Number 22.
Item number 22 is on our National Flood Insurance Program. This is our community rating system, our annual report. Kelly Levy is here. I'd ask her to come up and just speak briefly to this. As a time where we're seeing insurance rates skyrocket, this is one that helps our homeowners keep those as low as possible. And so if I could have Kelly just give you a brief report.
Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. Kelly Levy, Public Works Director, and I would have asked Lisa Foster, our floodplain administrator, to be here and talk about this, but she is literally in Miami at the Florida Floodplain Administrators Conference, and they are flooding. The roads and everything are completely underwater. So, I mean, while terrible, quite apropos for that conference. Just but the community rating system program, or what we call our CRS program, rewards communities that have good floodplain management practices and programs, and that reward is floodplain insurance premium discounts. So good floodplain management practices protect our residents and our businesses and their investments from the repercussions of flooding. We have taken a lot of pride in our floodplain management program by preserving areas of natural floodplain, using the best available data to identify flood hazards, ensuring standards of flood protection to protect investments, implementing capital projects to help reduce flooding, and having a flood warning and response plan, not only to protect our constituents from flooding, but to save them millions of dollars per year on their flood insurance premiums. With the rollout of FEMA's new insurance rating system, which considers many factors, we anticipate that the savings will continue to rise. We have an updated estimate that our NFIP policyholders saved over $9 million last year. And with these rising insurance costs and increasing flood risks, the program is more important now than ever.
Great work. Great work. Thank you, Kelly. So move approval to accept the receipt and file of the National Flood Insurance Program
Second.
annual report.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Please open the board and allow us to vote.
I'm a yes. Oh, there it is.
There. And that motion passes unanimously. 23.
This resolution is adopting countywide minimum standards for radio frequency testing in new and existing high-rise structures and providing for the effective dates of implementation. This was discussed at our workshop, and also I know staff had one-on-ones with you.
Move approval.
Second. Been moved and seconded. Would you please open the voting card and allow us to vote? And that passes unanimously. Item number 24.
This is an appointment to the WorkNet to a Career Source Board. This is a replacement for the education and training position.
Move approval for Don Peters.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Please open the voting board. Allow us to vote. That motion passes unanimously. Item 25.
Item 25 is the subsequent designation as a local workforce area for the continued charter of the Career Source. This is required every 2 years. It's a redesignation.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please open the voting board and allow us to vote. And that motion passes unanimously. Number 26.
This is a joint Fort Pinellas Countywide Planning Authority resolution designating Fort Pinellas as the forum to guide implementation of the Advanced Pinellas Housing Action Plan.
Move approval.
Second.
been moved and seconded. Please open the board and allow us to vote. And that passes,
That's fine.
that passes unanimously.
Whit's in the room. I didn't know if he had anything he wanted to add to that item that we just passed.
Do you, Whit?
Good morning, Whit Lanton, Executive Director of Ford Pinellas. Just real briefly, thank you very much for endorsing the resolution. The Ford Pinellas Board will be taking this up tomorrow, and then we'll be asking all of our partner communities to also endorse the resolution. What this really does is establish Ford Pinellas, the board, as the forum for guiding and supporting and convening the action plan for affordable housing throughout Pinellas County. And we really are a backstop to the local governments to sort of reinforce that by providing technical assistance, incentives, and encouragement. All those things are needed when we're talking about affordable housing. And it is definitely linked to our transportation strategy as well. So look forward to working with you. And we have a summit on April 28th, Homes for Pinellas, at the Largo Cultural Center. And we expect a really good turnout for that. And that'll continue furthering the action plan. And we really are focused on implementing this action plan.
Great.
So, thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you. Number 27.
This is a Pinellas County Industrial Development Authority acting to modify what was called a LIBOR, which is, this is worldwide, this has been dissolved, and it's a replacement to a variable rate index as a substitute variable rate index calculation that they use. So this is just a substitution under your authority as the Industrial Development Authority.
Move approval.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Please open the board and allow us to vote. That motion passes unanimously. Item 27.
Item 28 is an amendment to the bylaws of the EMS Advisory Council, and this is to add a mental health professional.
Move approval.
Second. Been moved and seconded. Open the board, please, and allow us to vote. That passes unanimously. Number 29.
These are appointments to the Emergency Medical Services Advisory Council. There's a number of reappointments and appointments. They're listed in your packet.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please open the machine and allow us to vote. Number 30, Mr. Crowell.
Good morning. I understand that each of you have been briefed on this matter, and I'm going to ask that at this moment that this item be pulled from the agenda. We'll have follow-up later one-on-one with you. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me after the meeting.
Thank you. So we'll pull item 30 and now 31, county attorney reports.
We have no reports, Madam.
No reports. All right, county administrator.
There's a lot going on, but I'll brief those on our one-on-ones.
All right. And point number 33.
Madam Chair, we have a ballot for item 33.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Ruffy, Reeball. You're welcome.
With the vote of 4-2, the board has selected Robin Rubal over Audrey Henson.
Thank you.
I think she'll be good.
What?
So I think she'll be good.
Okay.
I was just talking out loud, I'm sorry.
All right, hold on just one second. All right, before we take up county commission new business, I understand that we have a Mr. White who indicates that he was pre-registered to speak. You know we've already passed item 23. Do you still wish to address it?
Yes, I do.
Oh, please come forward and you'll have 3 minutes. Thank you. Maybe we missed your name. It wasn't in
No.
the...
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm Jim White from Bel Air, representing 13 high-rise buildings in the RPD. I've worked bi-directional amplifier issues for about 3 years. I spoke to this commission a little over a year ago and expressed my concern regarding how the commission was handling this BDA imposed on us by Tallahassee without regard to its unintentional consequences. Our infrastructure has worked successfully from streets and was not designed to work in all areas of high-rise buildings. I strongly support this county resolution as it fixes many of the problems created by Tallahassee without them providing additional funds for our county communications infrastructure. This resolution puts the provider of county communications in charge as it should be and sets standards where it's been the wild, wild west. Changing the measured signal strength from -95 to -102 will help many county buildings. For instance, Bayshore 2, a 50-year-old high-rise building in our R3D, was just tested with a BDA system, was done, and that building had 19 of 125 areas surveyed fail using the -95 standard, but using 102 had 7 areas fail. In money terms, this is an approximate saving for a BDA installation from $100,000 down to $75K. Very few residents in high-rise buildings are aware of this BDA expense coming their way, in addition to structural inspections and fixes, roof replacements, and insurance costs. You'll probably start hearing about this additional BDA expense in about 6 months from a year from now. This resolution is a great step forward, but for the long term, I recommend county communications infrastructure upgrades as done by Sarasota and Manatee counties, like the one described in this 221-page statement of work. If you decide to do a major communications infrastructure upgrade, it'll take several years. An interim solution to help residents would be the one recommended in passing by County Administrator Barry Burton at your working session, which was to outfit fire districts with a mobile communications repeater card. As an aside, its communications equipment could be reused as infrastructure upgrades progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we are on. So sorry. Alexander Crest.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Awesome. Sorry about the mix-up too. I don't know if I checked in wrong or anything, but thank you for giving me the chance to speak to you all this morning. I'm Alexander Crest and a student at USF St. Pete. I'm here to sort of persuade you to possibly consider expanding the authorized uses of the tourist development tax. As I'm sure you know, that Pinellas County is one of only 9 counties to levy the full 6% for the tax. And this year, that's worked out wonderfully. We're on track to hit over $100 million in revenue, putting us in competition with Broward County for second most in the state, behind Orange. And I was hoping that the County Commission would consider adopting the language found in State Statute Chapter 125, Section 0104, subsection 5.5, that has not yet been adopted in the County Municipal Code. This statute was the result of House Bill 585 passed in 2018. It essentially allowed for greater use of revenue from the TDT to go towards ecologically and environmentally important resources, specifically for beaches, lakes, rivers, lagoons, estuaries, things like that, to sort of, for upkeep essentially, as these resources present not only a benefit to the local community, but obviously for tourism, for all the number of people that come to our beaches. Along with these expanded uses, I know it was brought up in 2018, or actually not 2018, last year, when funding for beach nourishment was proposed to, well, actually was raised by the Tourist Development Council from 0.5 to 0.75 of a penny per dollar raised by the tourist development tax. I would again advocate for a rise to the whole penny per dollar raised, especially with difficulties with Army Corps of Engineers right now trying to get these beach nourishment projects through. I think it's just important that that the county have the resources to fund beach nourishment and other projects in extreme circumstances. As it stands right now, that's only roughly $711,000 per year that would be allocated to beach nourishment. And just the two projects earmarked alone, if they were to proceed without federal funds, would cost roughly $15 million for the county. And along with that, my hope is that adopting this language from the state statute would provide for better ecological protection. The county currently has 22 TMDLs and impaired water bodies. Funds in counties that have adopted this language have gone towards restoration along the shoreline and even eelgrass, excuse me. So it can go a long way in improving both the local community and experiences for tourists, making sure they have wonderful beaches to explore.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your comments. You may want to consider making your pitch to the Florida legislature,
Okay.
since they're the ones that have control over the expansion of the TDC dollars.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, now we are on County Commission new business, and we will start with Commissioner Latvala.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did part of my report on Thursday at our work session, but tonight Mayor Onks is being sworn in as the new Clearwater mayor. Also, we have the Sugar Sand Festival going on Clearwater Beach. I encourage y'all to go and enjoy that if you can find a parking spot once you get there after you sit in traffic. And also, minor league baseball is starting up. The Clearwater Threshers' first home game is tonight. It's also dollar night, which I've been known to take advantage of their dollar hot dogs. The Dunedin Blue Jays, their season has also started up. Since I've been accused of jinxing the Tampa Bay Rays earlier by Commissioner Peters, I will not mention their record. But after 2 weeks in the season, they are on pace to go 162-0, and they're currently 4 games ahead of the New York Yankees for first place in the AL East. So hopefully they will continue their unprecedented success that has not been seen in almost 100 years of Major League Baseball. That is it for my report. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much for all those tips about what's going on in our community. Commissioner Eggers.
Yeah, not that we're superstitious in baseball, but you have to step over the line when you go on the field. Thank you for that reminder. Hopefully they continue. They'll continue to play well. Hopefully they continue to win. Tampa Bay Water has not met since our last meeting. I did get a chance to tour the Hillsborough River, and it was fascinating to learn more about the organization and the perspective and the size and everything else that goes on there. We kind of sneakily went by the City of Tampa's intake for their water plant. I'm kidding. If you were on Tampa Bay Water Board, they probably understand that. But they do a great work, and we're trying to work closely with them. So nothing to report on MPO. We haven't met since the last meeting, last county commission meeting. I wanted to tip my hat to the Empath Health and the Zach Shannon Post 2550 VFW for their Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans event in Dunedin. A week or so ago. It's the first one. They've been trying to do it for a couple of years, and this is the first one they did, and it was packed. It was really exciting. It was emotional. A lot of folks just wanted to hear those words again, welcome home. beautiful ceremony. Just wanted to congratulate them, and also hopefully that we'll be doing that again next year. Eliza's Greatest Wishes Spring Fling was a week ago, and the community came out in record numbers, raised over $200,000, of which 100% goes back into the community, charitable foundation, charitable groups up in the Palm Harbor area and a little beyond. Eliza Nelson, as you all may know, was brutally murdered some 20, 30 years ago now. But it's in her honor, in her memory, but the money is beautifully received, and all of it goes back into the community. So it was a great event. Wanted to congratulate Jeff Nelson and the team that put that together. Dunedin Fire Roll-In of Rescue 60 happened this past week. It was really neat. It's always neat to be at these roll-ins. This was a rescue unit, so it looks like an ambulance. So it will serve as a first responder unit on a day-to-day basis. They'll have a crew just like all the fire trucks do. They will not transport, but what's really neat is in times of emergency, like we've had in the past, they can then be implemented as a transport. So great work. I wanted to commend our team for supplying the funds for that effort, and the city for their commitment to providing the infrastructure. Let's see, I think you already mentioned about Brian Onk Sr. tonight. I also wanted to tip my hat off to City Commissioner Jacob Carr from the city of Tarpon Springs. He'll be stepping down now after 8 years of service as a city commissioner, and I wanted to congratulate him and a couple of others that will be coming on tonight as well. I've talked to a lot of people, and I'm just saying that went to church on Sunday. It said that the churches are packed. And Mac Johnson was here speaking to us about Easter, and I just think that it was really neat to see that spiritual, I call it spiritual revival. I don't know that that's what's going on, but I think our country is in desperate need of it. And it was just neat to see a really energized, emotional, and exciting Sunday morning. And go Rays. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Commissioner Peters? Okay. Commissioner Scott?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I would like to recognize Commissioner Eggers as the first county commissioner to cross the line at last weekend's 5K race.
Man, it was tough.
Wow.
But I didn't stop.
Yes.
I plodded through that thing. You know.
All right.
I probably finished in 200th place or something. But it was a good day. Thank you.
Yesterday I had the opportunity to visit with the Tierra Verde Community Association, and I want to thank Sharon and Mark Calvert for giving me a boat tour of the Grand Canal and being able to see, up close and personal with your own eyes what's happening out there is really quite startling. So they definitely have a serious and significant issue going on there, and I want to thank Kelly Levy and her team for really trying to push the Army Corps to issue that permit so we can get to work on dredging that project. And then after that, I had remote office hours in Tierra Verde and had about a 2-hour discussion with well over 20 community members yesterday. So a lot of really good back and forth. Subjects we talked about was the Grand Canal, Florida DOT's upgrades of the Pinellas Bayway, including some concerns that they had with the bidirectional bike lanes, as well as the county park that they maintain and the landscaping work that they do on the Pinellas Bayway. So, and then I stuck around for their community association meeting last night. So just a good opportunity, to visit with everybody up there, and just want to give a shout out to them and thank them for giving me the time. And then last thing I forgot to mention at our work session last week, at PSTA about 2 weeks ago, I made a motion that we have a special meeting of the board for the purposes of reviewing the committee structure and obtaining some additional accountability and performance measures at PSTA. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Commissioner Flowers?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm not going to go over what I shared at our workshop, but just want to give you an update as it relates to the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council, I'm sorry. First of all, hopefully, if you are not going to attend the entire conference, hopefully some of you or all of you would like to attend the welcome reception The conference is scheduled for May 2nd and May 3rd, but on May 1st, there's a welcome reception. And so if you would like to attend, please let me know so that I can give the information to Ren, and she can assure that you will be present and hold a place for you. If you would like to attend the conference, by all means, please do so, because we would love to have you, and we would love to see you there. We had a wonderful presentation that was made to us by Bamitra Simmons from the Tampa Bay Partnership. And it talked about the roll-up of different stats covering different areas, comparing Pinellas County to other communities of like size and where we ranked, and then comparing Pinellas County on a national level. It covered everything from water issues to education to safety. It talked about economic vitality and where we are there. There was even a component section that dealt with the youth. So I'll provide each one of you, and if you desire to read it, the PowerPoint presentation that was provided to us so that you can look at how granular the Tampa Bay Partnership was when it came to going through each one of those categories. We also had a presentation, of course, as we have the Resiliency and Sustainability Conference coming up. We had a presentation regarding Know Your Zone, Know Your Home and Know Your Zone, and just a reminder that individuals should take very seriously where you are. Make sure you have a plan in place, because we're entering that season of year again very quickly. So just making sure that you know if you're required to vacate your premises. If not, making sure you have the medications, enough food, water, and things of that nature should we have the unfortunate circumstance of actually going through a storm situation. And just a reminder, if anyone is not planning to attend or is unaware, that there will be a artistic plaque dedication or unveiling for former County Commissioner Sally Parks at the St. Pete Clearwater Airport on May 1st from 3 to 4. So that should be a really nice ceremony to acknowledge and recognize her for all of the things that she has done, both while she served on the County Commission and then all of her volunteer work in the community when she left the commission. That's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Flowers. And just if you would, double-check your dates that you talked about with regard to the summit, because I have it on my calendar for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and the
I
welcome.
apologize. Thank you, ma'am. It is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody knew, because you all are invited to the opening event at the Clearwater Hilton on Wednesday evening.
On the 3rd, correct. I apologize.
It should be, no worries, no harm done. It should be a very interesting and worth your while.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, one more thing. Commissioner Cohen from Tampa told me to say that he is so proud of you and that we should be extremely proud of you. I wrote it down.
Proud of who?
Of Commissioner Eggers. He
Oh.
said you should give kudos to Commissioner Eggers for his service on Tampa Bay Water. He represents you well. I promised him I would say that.
I've heard
I'm
that
sorry.
too from a variety of people.
He
so
made that
thank you.
comment at the, so
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I forgot that.
Okay, now are you finished, Commissioner?
No, I have about 30 more things, so I'm finished.
Okay, before Commissioner Peters has to leave, I just want to let everyone know what a great job she did representing Pinellas County on the roundtable discussion with the Tampa Bay Partnership yesterday. You did a great job, and she participated along with Commissioner Starkey from Pasco. So it's very interesting, and I know Bamitra really enjoyed it too. So
Great.
I talked with her later.
Thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome. I have one request before she leaves as well. I thought you were leaving, so I might. Yeah. We received a letter from the newly elected interim mayor, or appointed, I guess I should say, Mayor Brian Sr., regarding his desire to be the representative of the city of Clearwater at the Tourist Development Council. And he did come to our last meeting as a guest and just sat in and listened and got reacquainted with all of the things that we're working on. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because I intend to inform the TDC, with your permission, of course, that he will be the new representative on behalf of the city of Clearwater. Barry, did you have?
We need to vote.
You need to take an
Yeah.
action.
Well, but we don't vote during, if it wasn't on the agenda prior to, so.
We can vote on it.
Yeah, we can.
This is an
Is that all
emergency.
right?
You can.
Move
I
approval.
move approval.
All right,
I
then,
second.
please open the voting board and let's take a vote then.
Have a yes.
Put me down as a yes, please.
Do an all in favor, maybe?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, got it. All right, thank you. Lastly, since we last met, we have had a couple more requests, imagine that, to light the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Endometriosis Awareness Month is now, I guess, going on, and so they would like the bridge to be lit yellow from April 23rd to the 29th. And they also received a request to light the bridge for Night for Fallen Firefighters. They want it to be lit red on May 8th. And the slow down and move over law for first responders awareness bridge to be lit yellow on June 18th.
Move
It's
approval.
not on our
Second.
list. Okay, so that's, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we'll add that into the mix. I hope it doesn't take a lot of work to get that done, because they must get very tired of it. All right, that's it. If nobody has anything else, then for the good of the order, we will adjourn today.
Just a computer.